So I'm going to start with Git clone first. So what do I mean by Git clone? Now, when we say Git clone is very much easy. Probably one of the easiest things. Let me leave Git clone first because it's easy. Let me move into something that we need to talk about. Maybe in our next class we'll talk about Git clone. But for now, we'll talk about branches. Now, I've explained that in your code, you need to have multiple branches, isn't it? So that you have multiple features. Branches equals features, multiple features. Now, how do you now create these branches? First of all, we created our what's the name? Master branch or our main branch. So we use master, don't use main. How many of us use main? Use main or master? What did you use? Main, right? A lot of us use master. So if you use main, if you use master, it's fine. Now, don't be confused. You can give it any name. You can say first, but what sounds appropriate is what? Master or main. You understand? You can use master or main. Now, before we move on, I'm going to talk about some important commands again that you need to understand. The first is what? Git branch. We're also going to talk about Git checkout. Right? Then we're also going to talk about Git pull. Git clone. Yeah, Git clone. Git clone. We might not talk about them today, but we'll definitely talk about all of these things. Now, the first one is Git branch. Now, Git branch, I'll talk about Git branch types. Git branch and Git branch name. Now, the first one, which is this Git branch, basically helps you list out the amount of branches you have in your what? In your project. Now, I said branches equals features, right? Now, if I want to list out all the branches that I have, is what? I use Git branch. So if I come here and I say Git branch, what am I going to have? I'm just going to have what? One branch. Because why? That is the only branch I have, which is what? Master. As you can see, listed out what? Master. That's it. You understand? Now, the other one, which is, do you understand Git branch now? Is it clear? Now, the other one, which is what? Git branch and name of the file or folder. Basically, what talks about creating a branch. That's how you create a branch. Ordinary Git branch just shows you the amount of branches you have, right? Git branch and a name will now create a new branch. So now let's say I want to create an about page, right? I want to basically work on about page. What am I going to do? I can say Git branch about feature. Let's do that. Now if I click enter, what has just happened? I've created what? Another branch. Now if I list out the branches that I have, Git branch. Now as you can see, I have what? Master and what? About it. That's how you create different branches. Is it clear to you? Now, let me say I want to create one more, which is contact. I can say what? Git branch, contact, or feature. Now, you can name it anything. I'm just using fit because just to simplify feature. You understand? If I also say Git branch again, what do I have? I have what? 3 branches now. That's how I keep going. Let me add one more. Let me say Git branch. What should I call this? Let's say you want to integrate payment structure. So payment structure. No, payment feature. And then if I go Git branch, you have what? About feature, contact feature, master, and payment. As you can see, that's how it works. Now, but if you check something out, it is still starting one, which is what? Master. That is to signify that what? We are on the master branch. That's what it's saying. We are on what? The master branch. Do you understand it now? So, right here, I can go ahead and say, How do I now go into that? You have a question before. What was your question? Yeah, we'll get there. Now, the next thing I will now do is that how can we now move away from master or to the payment branch? Git checkout comes into play. Now, Git checkout name will help you go into any branch you want to. Just a minute. Now, as you can see, I've deleted all the other branches. I want to start again. I want to explain it again. So if you say Git branch now, what does Git branch do? Should, now if I say Git branch, let me increase it so that everybody can see it. If I say Git branch, what do you have? Only one branch, which is right? Now, Git branch has how many functions? Two. The first one is to what? Just to check out the amount of branches that you have. Second one is to what? Create new branches. Now, let's now say I want to create a new branch. So we have 3 branches I want to create. First is for about, second is for contact, third is for what? Payment structure, right? Now, I'm going to create those 3 branches. I'm going to say Git branch about feature. I can just easily say about, but I want it to sound more, sound better. So we have feature. Once I click enter, I've created the about feature. So if I we have what? About feature and what master. Again, I want to create another branch. You do the same thing. Git branch, contact what? Contact it or feature. What do you have? Git branch. Let's say Git branch, and let us check it out. What do you have? Contact feature, right? The last one is what? Payment feature, right? So let's do the same thing. Git branch, payment. So if I run my Git branch again, if I run my Git branch again, we have how many branches now? Yeah? 4. What are the 4? Master, about, contact, and what? Payment. That's 4 branches. Now, but if you check the asterisk, where is the asterisk on? Master. Good. That's because we are still on the master branch. You understand? Now, the about feature is for which page? It's for which feature? Yeah? The about feature is for which page? Yeah? Exactly. The reason is everybody here. This about feature here was created to work on which page? About. This contact was created to work on which page? Contact. This is created to work on which feature? Payment integration. Right? Good. So we cannot move into it like that. Now, if we now want to work on the about, let me go to about feature, right? And I said moving branches, what do you use? Git checkout. You create branches with what? Git branch. You move branches with what? Git checkout. You need to understand that command. Git checkout will help you move branches. Git branch will help you create branches. So if I want to move to about feature now, what do? I say what? git checkout about it. So what have I just done? I've switched to what? To the what about it. Is it clear to you now? Is it clear now? Is it clear to you? What about you, sir? What do you say? Because it has been modified. It has been modified. All these things that I added, yes, they are commented out, but they are still in the code, isn't it? Yeah, it has been modified. That's why. All right. So that is one thing about now. If I say git branch now, what do we have? You see that the asterisk has moved from master to where? About. Now I can come here now and create my about file. So let's say I want to create about.html, right? So you're going to have about.html, isn't it? Now in my about.html, I'm going to have some things. So let's just say, let me just copy the nav in this place and paste there. So if I copy the nav here, so I want to just copy so we can see the same thing. So copy this now. Where's my mobile? Okay, let me copy even the logo. I'll copy everything. Now to the logo. Yeah, copy it here. Then come back to my.html and paste here. Now we've edited it out, isn't it? So now, yeah, so we should have nav good. Now I'm going to add my CSS here so that the styling automatically takes place in the what in the mobile. So if I say link to what CSS, now as you can see, the mobile already has the same thing. Now I'm just going to add one more thing, which is going to be the main. So the main is going to say, welcome to our file. You understand? Just so that this is the about page, right? So if I go live, I want us to check it out ourselves. Now, as you can see, welcome to our bio. If you go to home, what are we going to have? Okay, home is not going to show because we did not set the href. So home, what's the link to home? Index of HTML, right? So click on index of HTML. So you can come here and then you can click on home now. And as you can see, home has loaded up. Now, if you go to about, you should see what, okay, we've not set this also on the index. Now, if you notice, I am going to touch what? What am I going to touch? Where am I touching now? Where am I? Now, what do I want to do? I want to set the links for about and the links for home so that the linking can work. You understand? You know, if you're on home, if you're on any website and you're on home, if you click on home, it goes to home, it goes to about, right? I want to set the same link for my home and my about. So my about, I can say what about.html. For my home, I can just put a forward slash. That's what stays in home. Or index, it doesn't even matter. Forward slash or so. Now, if you come here, I'm on home, right? Index.html. If I come to about, takes me to where? Welcome to my bio. So now it works, isn't it? Now, I've edited my about and I've edited my home. Now, if I switch back to my branch, so if I switch back to my master, what am I going to have? Git branch master. I need you to notice something. Sorry, Git checkout. Thank you. Git checkout master. So master. So I need you to note what's going to happen. Okay, I think nothing happened. Okay, nothing happened. So that's weird. Okay, but nothing happened. Let's just switch back to what's the name? About feature. Switch back to about feature. Git checkout about feature. Now, if you switch back to about now, we're on the about, isn't it? Now, how then answer your question, how then do we now make this available in our master? Who wants to try? Say, good. How do we connect it? Yes, you said we're going to connect it to online now, which is correct. How then are we going to connect it? Git push, but before Git push, what happens? Everything is again. If I just go ahead, let me just show you. If I run Git push now, what is going to happen? Let me show you. Git push. What's going to happen? First of all, it's going to tell you set upstream, but that's not even the case. The case is that you don't have files you want to push here. One thing is very, very important. Files has to be in your what? Dot. Is there file in your dot now? Eh? Is it no? Yes. No, yes. No, good. How will that file get to the dot? Add, right? Add even as the staging area. Then from staging area to dot, it's what will you use? For me, exactly. It needs to follow that pattern. You understand? Eh? You don't understand? Okay, ask. What was what connect me about? Don't get confused. Just a minute. Don't get confused. We are still on the same code base, right? From our main, we created branches about contact, what we payment structure. I moved to the word about branch to work on the word about HTML. Isn't it? Was that what I did? That's what I did now. Now, after moving there, I want to make sure that I want you to see me as like different people now. The reason why you don't understand is because I'm one person. Different people. Another person, another me is working on what? Contact, but not using the same system. You understand it now? That's how it works. Yes. They create the main, which is the major main system. They create more than one branch. Don't confuse yourself. It's like this. You're not creating more than one branch. Yeah, you're not creating. Branches is not about people. You can be one person and create thousands of branches. It's about features. So if you're in a company, you're working on a project, but you're working on a project and you are giving 1,000 features, several 1,000 features. You're expected to create how many branches? Up to that 1,000 branches. Why? Because it's a particular feature that you're working on. It's fine. Like I said, it depends on what you want. Yes. Like I said, it depends on what you want. You can say you want to work on one brand and create the whole page. And you can say you want to work, have multiple branches for different pages. I think I understand your question. Is it that you create the branches first before your pages? Now you can create your branches first. I think that's it. You can create your branches first. Switch to your branches and create those pages. So you can now move into the business. You understand? You can now, that also works. And again, you can also create those branches first. And so you can also create those pages first then create a branch. Now, if you create that branch, you have those pages because it's the master. Master has everything. So if you create branch from the master, what happens? You still need those pages in the branch. What am I saying? What I'm saying is that when I created about, did you still see index of HTML in the about branch? That's what I'm saying. So even if you create those pages, what you are saying is that we are still going to meet it in the branch. If you create those branch before the pages, you can still meet it in the master after you push. Let me show you. No, I need you to look at this. Just have an open mind first. Just look at this. Now, looking at this place, do you have about the CSS here? But in this place, in your branch here, which is your about suite, do you have about the HTML here? Sorry, in this place, do you have about the HTML here? No. But yeah, do you have about the HTML here? Exactly. So right here now, I'm in my own branch. I can go ahead and say git add, which is what I'm going to use to push it to GitHub. Right? I've done git add, isn't it? Git command. I can say -m about page created. Error here. Because it wants me to also set an upstream. That's create a branch on GitHub. Now, what is happening in your local repository? You have a branch that says what? About it. About just like master that is saying that you have to create a what an option. That's exactly the same that's going to happen. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to say Control C, then copy here. Now so waiting for it, something's going to happen now. So just wait and let it. So now created a what an about branch. Now if I come here and I refresh, you're still not going to see it, but it's going to tell you what pull request. Just a moment. Can you see the about? Can you see about here? No. But what is it saying? Add recent pushes 17 seconds ago. So I can compare and I can pull. You understand? Now, what does it mean by pull? I'm pulling from my web, from my branch into the master. Now in this place, I can now create a pull request to compare pull from my about feature into my what? Into my master branch. Is it clear? It's clear. All right. Yeah, I'm coming. Now, it show some things here. What's going to show? The code. So just wait for it. Now, there should even be a code that is going to show here. So commits, let's check the commits. And let's see what we have. Now, about page created. If I click on it now, I can see the codes that the person created, the things the person worked on. So as you can see, the person worked on about. Can you see all the codes on about? And the person also changed. Did he change? Added a link to the about and also added link to what? To the home. You understand? Now that is basically what it's saying. Now I can review changes and I can what, merge. Now let me come back to this place. Come back to the conversation. Then I can go ahead and merge. So it's going to tell me what merge pull request. If I click on merge pull request, confirm merge. And this is how it is done. So what did he say? For code 2 merged commits. This particular about created into what? Master. So if you come back here now, come back to codes. What are you going to have? About of HTML in where? That's how it works. Yeah. That's what I answered. I said yes. And I explained why. Is it why I'm explaining? Yes. You can do it before you created your branches or after you created your branch. I actually did it after. About the HTML before I created my branch. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay, yes, you can do it before and after. Now I can create my about.html, right, in my master. That's before, right? And create my about feature, isn't it? And then go into my branch and it will still be there. That's why I explained that I created index.html before I created about, isn't it? But when I moved into about feature, didn't you still see the index.html? Which means anything you create on your master is automatically going to be available across all branches. Your master is the main. It has access to all other branches. No, I think everybody needs to understand it clearly. Everybody should relax. So